All right, hopefully we actually remember to record the microphone this time so you guys can hear me. All right, over here, stand in display space. All right, so I have a little mirror hooked up here. This is a template. It's literally called a mirror object straight out of the VRExpansion template. So I have a very basic head and shoulder mesh here. They don't link up just right. So like I was saying before, this is always going to look a little weird because SteamVR only tracks the headset and the hands. Everything else, like my shoulders, my waist, my feet, my elbows, like SteamVR doesn't know where any of those things are. So like even if we hooked up a mesh with all the skeleton for like a full human body, procedurally animating it with IK to match, you know, where my elbows are when it doesn't know. Like right now, I'm moving my elbow on my right arm, and you can't really see that I'm moving my elbow right now. So if you're only trying to figure out where my elbow should be from where my head is and where my hand is, like there's a bunch of times where it's going to be wrong. And if I can see that, that's bad for immersion. And if somebody else can see that, it's confusing. So this is basically what you have to work with. You have a body model and the head model. The static mesh for the head is set to owner no see in the blueprint. So like it doesn't block my vision from the actual camera that's driving the headset in the blueprint editor. The body is not set to that. So if I look down, I can actually see my body. So this is the female head and the female torso right now. They're interchangeable because these objects are disjoint, so you can mix and match them if you really want to. But this is basically what the other person would see if you're connected together. So there's actually a floating text above my head. I can't like look up and see it because it's going to follow me. But that's where you could put like the username. So you could put Carl, or you could put Jen, or you could put whatever else. That's where that would go. You can make it a little smaller, move it a little closer to my head so it's easier to see. You don't have to look way up there to find it. But that's something that when David's writing the session code, the networking code, when you go to connect and you type in, hey, this is my username, and then I would like a female head and a female torso, or a male head and a male torso, or one of each. These are dynamic. The shirt color is dynamic. By default, I have it set to like the ITL blue by the exact hex code. The hair color is also dynamic, which you can also set by a color palette. The default is this like sort of dark brown brunette style color. But yeah, let me do a second take here, and I'll show you the male assets. But like the other person can see what I'm looking at. They can see where I'm standing. They can see my hands. They can see my name, and they can see anything that I'm holding or doing. If the replication is done right, this is what it's going to look like on the other end. Hold, please. Okay, I'm going to switch. I'm going to try to do this in one take, but OBS may not find it. I'm going to switch to the male head and the male body, and I'm going to run this again. Okay, it looks like it picked it back up, so let's just try to keep going. All right, so. All right, so get back into play space here. And then this is the male head and the male body. So if I look down, I have a little shirt pocket here. My shoulders are here, my waist is here, top of my head is here. So this one is not super accurate, but I mean, this is what I could find for free in and put together in like an hour. Again, the hair color is dynamic, and so is the shirt color. And I should still have that floating text above my head. But like this is roughly what you will see if I'm looking at something down here, looking at something over there. This is good enough to approximate like what it is, you know, if we're interacting with each other, if I'm telling you to look over there, if I'm waving hi to you, like this is just going to look a little weird because we don't have full body tracking. If you want full body tracking, I think it's absolutely out of the scope of this project. It's very doable in VR right now. There's a dozen different ways to do it. So if that is something that people want in the future, I can give you consultation on like what hardware and stuff we would need to do to sort of get that full body presence. I don't think it really adds a ton to the application. It is useful, it is nice. It definitely makes it show better than if you like get a screen recording of this and show it to somebody. It's gonna look weird. But full body tracking requires the end user to have even more specific hardware than the headset, the controllers, and the headset, the controllers, and the lighthouses, and a PC. So now you're gonna also ask them to have trackers, to set up the trackers. The trackers are not as easy to set up as like the headset is. So you can do full body tracking. It's more expensive and it doesn't really add a lot, and it puts a lot of onus on the end user to have sort of technical knowledge to set that stuff up, because it's not as, you know, point and click easy to set up as the headset is. That should be everything. Let me see if I can show you. The shirt color and the hair color are literally just color variables on the character controller. I can take a screenshot of the blueprint and show you where that is, but literally if you just override that color, because the code to change out the headset model and the torso model and the colors is in the construction script of the character model, like you can technically change these like in real time, and it'll update like on the next frame. It'll swap out the mesh, it'll swap out the color, it'll update the material, like it'll just do that stuff. So you can actually make a change in the editor to like the default hair color and shirt color, and it'll update instantly in the viewport. You can see it. All right. Let me see if I can do that real quick. I'm going to try to change my hair color to red, and I'm going to change my shirt color to like green, and we'll see if that works. Give me just a sec. Hold, please. Okay, so I'm going to change this default shirt color. You guys can't see the editor right now, I don't think, so. Okay. Shirt color. I'm going to make it green. Very green, very like green 255, very green. I'm going to make the hair color more red and less green and more blue. Not that much blue. Okay, I'm going to look like a bit of a Christmas tree, but I'll show you basically how easy it is to change these colors. Like, you're going to want to look up hex codes for these and not just randomly plug in numbers, or have a nice little color picker wheel. There's ways to do that in Unreal. But look, now I can go over here. I have a green shirt. I have really bright red hair, and if I look down, I have a green shirt. That's how easy it is. Just change those two variables, and everything should update even in real time while you're playing. Over.